Good morning once again. So previous session we had a discussion on this modulation processing. So modulation takes in one or two code words depending on whether spatial multiplexing is used and converts them to a complex valued OFDMA baseband signal for each antenna port. Right. So we have information. Right. So we have information. This analog data, right, we converted it to a signal, right, and we processed it. Okay, we processed our data, right. So modulation part you can tell, or we can tell encoding or coding the data. So usually a message information, okay, which is your input part, okay, then will be your encoding block diagram, right. We will use a encoder, okay. Then in the block diagram you have the modulation, right. We have a modulation. So this is the part which is there at the transmitter, okay. And finally when it is been done, it is having a antenna, okay, which will transmit through the channel, right. So what type of input data it is there, that we had discussed. How the encoding process it will take place, what are the different steps involved, so that also we observe. So there are 5 steps which has been present here, okay, which is nothing but this value: CRC addition, code block segmentation, channel coding, rate matching, code block concatenation, right. So next part is with respect to the modulation techniques, okay. So modulation techniques, we have AM, we have FM, and we have PM, okay. So here your inputs are with respect to the code words which you are going to receive, right. So after code words, these are the steps involved by these modulation process, where it will go through all these steps, and finally at the antenna you have the electromagnetic radiation. Now here that radiation we call it as a OFDMA signal generation, right. So before, in between this antenna port and between this code words, we have multiple section. One is scrambling, one is modulation mapper, one is layer mapper, one is pre-coding, and there is resource mapping, and finally you are going to get a OFDM signal generation, which is given to an antenna, which will be taken care for forwarding your data to the destination, okay. So each of these types we need to discuss now. So first one is a scrambling. So before modulation, the code word generated through channel processing is first scrambled by a bit level scrambling sequence. In the downlink, the scrambling state mixes each code word with a pseudo random sequence that depends on the physical cell ID at the target RTI to reduce the interference between the transmission and nearby cells. Except the multicast channel, for all other downlink transport channel and control information, the scrambling sequence are different for neighboring cells, so that ICI is randomized, right. Inter-control interference, okay. So you can understand that. So whatever code words it will be generated, for that a particular sequence number it will be attached, so that it will not get mismatched, okay. So that is one reason. And one more reason is that I wanted to randomize the interference, I wanted to reduce the interference, okay. So what I do, I will attach a sequence number and I will forward the data to the next layer, right, which you can be observed here. So these 3 parts will tell the same thing. How that code word will be converted into a sequence number attached to this part. So here in this modulation process, next one is your modulation mapper. So modulation mapper, you are having different types of channels, and sorry for the interference. So you have different modulation scheme present, like phase shift keying, amplitude shift keying, right? Time shift keying, quadrature phase shift keying, quadrature amplitude modulation, and these are all different schemes available here for with respect to the different channels, and broadcast channel, multicast channel, paging channel, and data control information, MCI, HCI. So these are all information different paging channel which you have, and which can be used these different technology, right? Previously we were discussing about the modulation scheme, right? Like rod return 0, like Manchester encoding value, right? So there are a number of ways where we can have. So this is an optional given to us for which one we need to select. Obviously we are not having any authorization to select these things because it is not with respect to our, okay. So these are the things which will be taken care by the network provider. So what type of modulation, what type of thing I am going to transmit, so that information I should give to him. So he will process the data and he will transmit that one. Okay. So these are the different modulation scheme, and these are the different physical channel available which they are going to use for transmission of their data, right? So next one is your layer mapping. So layer mapping indicating about the pre-coding stages present in the part. So you can observe that we have generated the code word, we have the sequence number, and between the antenna type we need to tell that whether it is eligible for transmission of the data or not, right? Which is again with respect to the power representation of that one. So if I'm having a data, whether it will carry that information to the destination or not, so that also should be checked. Okay. So if it is not able to carry that one, whether still modulation process is required or not. So you can see here the waveform layer mapping and pre-coding value. So here you can observe that HC code word where HC equal to 1 or 2 bits. Okay. So two inputs can be presented here. But here you observe when it is going for the pre-coding structure, you are having values V equal to greater than or less than or equal to HC. So your carrier frequency, because sampling process which you are going to apply here, it is going to repeat your data. Okay, it will take your information, it will do sampling process. Why we are going to do is that we want to have that increased frequency. So that condition whether it is allowed or not is going to check, and to check that one we have this layer mapping and pre-coding. So pre-coding means what? If you are not able to transmit your data to the required destination, whether sufficient carrier frequency should be included or not, that we need to observe it. So layer mapping at pre-coding stages implements the multiple antenna transmission and reception technique. The layer mapping stages take the code words and maps them onto one of the four independent layers, while the pre-coding stages applies the chosen pre-coding matrix and maps the layers onto the different antenna ports. The layer mapper maps HC code words to V spatial layers, while the precoder maps the V layers to the P antenna ports. Right. So he is going to have here three conditions are very much important. What is the value of HC? Right. The gain of that code words which is going to be generated. What is the value of a V? Right. V layers are nothing but the next slide. It will come what are the different layers available, through which layer you are going to transmit that one, and what is here with respect to the P, which is the number of antenna ports. So antenna ports also we have multiple, right? So yes, we have observed in that expression P11, P12, P13 and so on. Or if I have a multiple antennas, it will be P21, P22, PT3. Right, so we have multiple things. So now our task is that which layer, which channel it will map, that suitable things should be identified and utilized for transmitting our information. Okay. So code words, a code word is defined as a output of each channel coding rating machine associated with a single transport block coming from back layer. In LTE, although up to 4 transmit receiver are supported, the number of code words are limited to 2. So for each data, maximum of 2 code words can be generated, which will be used for the transmission purpose. Okay, so that is the thing. Using this maximum number of antennas, which you have 4 transmitter and 4 receiver, right? But this number it is very high, okay, which will be observed. This is a limit to the uplink feedback overhead as a separate HARQ process. HARQ is nothing but your hybrid automatic repeat request. Okay, is operated for each code word which requires a separate signaling in the uplink channel. So he is segregating your data into a multiple types, segmenting your information to which category it belongs, right? Whether suitable agents are available or not, whether modulation is being done effectively or not, he is going to check with this code word. So how many code words it is going to generate, how you are going to transmit your data through this antenna, he is going to observe. So those are all information he is going to brief it now. So a layer corresponds to the, as I said that previous slide, there will be a layer structure, right? So what type of layers we have, how it is going to map to your code word. So which suitable layer is for the what type of code word is going to explain now. Okay, a layer corresponding to the data stream of the spatial multiplexing channel. Each code word is mapped into a one or multiple layers. Therefore, the number of layer is at least as many as the number of code words. That is why we should be always greater than HC. Now, HC we have taken it as 2 code words. So, V value will be always equal to 2 or more than 2. Right. So next part is your antenna part. So he is speaking of with respect to the code words, with respect to the layers, and with respect to the antenna ports. So these antenna ports you can observe it is present here. So antenna port is defined by its associated reference signal, which is logical entity and may not correspond to actual physical antennas. The number of antenna ports at the E node B is sent to the user equipment through the PPCH channel, which can be 1, 2 or 4 in LTE. Antenna ports 0 to 3 are cell specific, antenna 4 is MBFI SFN, and antenna port 5 is for user equipment specific. So he is giving what are the antenna ports available, and antenna ports value will be mapped to do the layers of which type and how it is going to be transmitting the data. That is what he is trying to tell here. Because you can see earlier they were having the antennas. So we have the antenna parts. So we are having different ports, and those ports should be assigned with some different variables, right? So now these variables are sectioned for these types. So port number 0 to 3 are for cell specific. So we have seen this cell structure here, right? So I'll just show to you the cell structure, which is this part. Okay, this is a cell structure, right? So this cell, which antenna port is going to select and which is going to able to transmit. So that is what he is trying to observe here. Sorry. Okay. So here you can observe that number of layers, which layer it is going to support for code word 0 and which layer code word 1 will be supporting. As I said that there are two code words, two possible minimum, right? So these are the layers which is going to support. Okay. So single antenna port, one code word is mapped to a single layer. Transmit diversity, one code word is mapped to 2 or 4 layers. It is a open loop pipe or spatial multiplexing, NC code words are mapped to the V layer where NC equal to 1, 2 and V equal to 1, 2, 3, 4 and V is greater than or equal to NC. Right. So it is just like your multiplexing concept which they are going to use. Okay. So if I am having one code word which is 0 or 1. So how many select lines you require? So transmitting a 0, if 0 is selected, so this will be selected. So for 0, I am going to use top one, and for 1, I am going to use this value. Right. So this is your code word and this is your layer structure which is going to be used. Right. If my data it is of 2 bits. Okay. If my data it is 2 bits. So I am having 4 condition 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0 and 1, 1. Right. So how many select lines I am going to get? So I am going to get 4 lines. Right. For 0, 0, for 0, 1, for 1, 0 and for 1, 1. So if I am going to select this value, so this will be outputted here. Right. So this same multiplexing concept only it is given for this modulation mapping type. Right. So that is why he is saying for 2 values it is 4. For 3 values the V value will be 8. For 4 values this value will be 16. Right. And it keeps on increasing. Now this concept why it will arise because you are having 4 output value. Right. But if I go for a multiple input and multiple output value, right, so you have this input block, you have this output block. So this input block can give a multiple output values. So this concept it is been not taken here, right? Why? Because still it is with respect to the basic modulation processing which is going to utilize for transmitting the data, right? That is what they are trying to do here. There is nothing extra, but he is using the technical words like which ports are specific for what purpose, right? Like 0 to 3 for cell specific, for 4 for transmitting this one, for 5 for user specific. So these are the information which is present. So this is a general antenna ports which are the layers, layer 0 which is going to support the things. It is with again with respect to the physical layer and the data link layer which is being provided here, because from the network layer it is going to the channel. So which layer will support what? One second. So next part about this is what is telling about. See, just till this point, what we are trying to do is that we received code words. Okay, this is a code word. You assume it after channel processing. So this code words it is present here. Okay, this part. Next, what we are going to do is a scrambling part. So scrambling part, I am going to select whichever data I want. I will add 0, 0, 1 L. Okay, 1 U, 0, 0, indicating one lower and one upper. Right. So lower will be 0, 0, upper will be 0, 0, and added this one L and one U as a sequence IDs. Okay. Now these two values are there. It should be mapped. So either I can transmit using 0, 1, 1, 0, 0, 1, sorry, 0, 0 or 1, 1. Right. So this 0, 0 it is attached with 1L 0, 0 and this 1U 0, 0 which is again attached to 0, 0, 0, 1. So this is a multiplier mapper which I am going to go for the layer mapping. So layer mapping what I will do? So this will be at the physical layer or layer 0. and this will be in the pipeline. And once this will be in layer 1, so it will be in the layer 0 time. It is just like a pipelining structure because it has to move from this data to the layer 0, then layer 1, and then to the network layer. So at the layer we are having these values. So at this point there will be the agents which will carry our information. Okay, which will carry our information. So it is now all depends on the agent, because agent is specified with this unique number, and there will be a space provided for the data where this data I am going to allocate. Now once your data is been allocated by using this pre-coding structure, then it has to be resource mapping. Right. So resource mapping means what? You need to check for the channel, and in this channel which frequency slot is free. Right. At that frequency slot I need to allocate this pre-coding values. Okay, and once I done this pre-coding allocation of this resource type, then it will generate me the OFDM signal, which is nothing but your electromagnetic radiation signal, and this will be given to the antenna part for the transmission. Right. So this is how your data it is going to be processed on a second to second transmission of your data. Right. So for resource mapping is going to check what is the channel size, what is the data available, how much it is going to check. Right. So for each antenna port uses used for transmission for the physical channel, a block of complex value symbols YP0 to YP MS AP minus 1 shall be mapped in a sequence starting with YP0 to resource block assigned for transmission. Now why these signals are there? Because it is nothing but your fast Fourier transform values which is going to be generated for this data. Right. So your data where zeros and ones will be converted into the radiation pattern. Okay. A radiation pattern will be formed for these kind of data pre-coding values. It will be converted into this one. So at this location from 0 to 1 second. So how many values will be there? That should be mapped. Okay, that should be allocated. So it is going to check with this k comma l element value. So he will check at 0.001. So what is the value it is going to be presented? At 0.10, what is the value it is going to presented? So that amplitude value is going to check, and he is going to forward that data to the destination. So the mapping to resource element k comma l or antenna ports p not reserved for other purpose shall be increasing order the index k and then index l starting from the first slot to the sub frame. So whatever slot will be there, allocate that value, take that value back to this pre-coding value, generate radiation pattern and give that to an OFDM signal. That is what is trying to explain in this slide. Right. So finally you are having this OFDM signal generation, which is your radiation pattern which is going to generate. Right. Why it is OFDM? Because it is orthogonal, because it can transmit data in any direction. In practice, our OFDM signal is generated using the IFFT. That is what I was telling, FFT or IFFT. It is the same process, digital processing. At receiver, FFT processing can be used to convert the time domain signal back to the frequency domain signal. That is ultimately we are going to do it. So even if you are receiving data in any of the format, in any of the type, at this when it comes to an OFDM part, it will be generated to a frequency slot. And during that frequency slot, we are able to transmit our information which we have to observe it. Right. Then what happens? OFDM signal generation. So resource mapping, you are having this frequency division at the OFDM signal. You can see parallel to serial converter. IFFT, we are going to add a cyclic prefix. So this block diagram we have observed in the module T, module 2, where we are discussing about signal carrier OFDMA part. So you're getting all the information from the different resources like user 1, user 2, user n, and a inverse operation we are going to follow here, IFFT. And for this coding data, we will add a prefix code word, and your parallel data will be converted to a serial data, and this serial data will be released using this antenna where you are going to get an OFDMA signal. And this block diagram we call it as a OFDMA signal generation with n user, where P bar say S denotes the parallel to serial converter. Okay, so your multiple data with sequence number, whatever it will be there, at this point a parallel to serial converter, all you are going to receive the data, identify the sequence number and convert that data sequentially. You are going to transmit that part through the antenna port. So this is what you have to understand about a OFDMA signal generation. The second part is what? Your downlink shared channel. So you are having the downlink bits for the downloading your data. Till now it was only the uplink where part where we uploaded our data by using the channel resource mapping as well as the modulation technique. Now it is what? Downlink shared channel. Downlink shared channel base. So there are multiple application over there with respect to the control information, with respect to your data information, and with respect to the logical channels which are present. Now using these channels, I need to extract information, right? So it is just like I'm having a data, right? The data it is of more than 25 MB. So I wanted to transmit that information for all the students who are present in this class. Okay, so what I do, I will attach the attachment, copy all the mail IDs, then I will set the button. So when I'm setting that one, it will understand the tool itself, it will understand that the size of the data is huge. It is more than 25 MB. You cannot transmit directly. So it will tell that, it will give an option as that what you need to convert through a Google Drive, and it will create a link, and that link will be given to you. Okay, so when they do this one, again it will give an option to be how you are going to transmit your data, right? So how you are going to transmit data, whether you are going to allow him to only view the data or whether you are going to allow to edit the data, right? And once you give only view the data, the receiver part is not going to is not able to transmit that data once again to the other person, right? Because he is not having any authority. If I give edit option, then that receiver person is able to forward that mail to other person and he is able to do. Now these are all concepts are bit related to these layers. So you have this transport layer, we have a physical channel and we have a logical channel. So these are the different channeling part, paging, broadcast, central one, data network one, everything. So for all these six, this is sufficient at the transport layer. So I was telling in the, we have two types of agent. One is UDP and one is CDP. Right, TCP also will do as well as UDP also will take care of that one. Right, it supports both the information. So same part also here also it is available. So in the image only you can see that for this PCCH, a PCH separate is required, then PDSCH is one. For this DLCSCH downlink, you can have all this categorization and you can do it. Okay, it is just like your browser internet part. So if it is only calling purpose, only calling one. So other than calling, you are having sending messages, broadcasting the channel. For all those things, you can use only one. So I will just give an example. It is just like a Skype value or it is a FaceTime value. So Skype value, it is what you are going to do only a video call. Audio call is there, but still you prefer for the video part. But when I take WhatsApp, is giving an option of sending a message, transmitting a group message, right, making a audio call, making a video call. So it is all related to these parts. Okay, so this is the part which is present. So you can observe DLSCH is carried on the physical downlink channel, PDSCH. Data transmission is based on the concept shared channel transmission, where physical layer resources, that is resource box available for PDCs CSCH, is started as a common resource that can be dynamically shared among the different users. The dynamic multiplexing of UEs or PDC DSH is done by a scheduler on a 1 millisecond interval. This way, a large portion of data resources can be allocated to a specific user which is suitable for packet data application. Right. So next is what? Channel coding and demodulation part. Right. So here we have to observe these part. So I think this I will cover in the next session. Right. Channel coding modulation, multi-antenna transmission. What are the different types? What are the channels available? So DCI information, channel coding modulation of again DCI part. So and, we have a control information, channel coding at this part. Okay. So these are four topics which is left out. So these four topics we will cover in the next session. Okay. Why attendance is very less?